Find too much.
And action.
Oh, find too much, squishy. Hey, hi, hello. Today, instead of doing a vlog for this week, I've decided to do a little favorites video because it's coming to the end of March, so I thought I would just share some things that I've been liking recently and, you know, just things I've been enjoying. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is morning smoothies. For the past couple weeks, I've been really into my morning smoothies for breakfast, and I think it's just the best way to start the day. I get my fruit in nice and early, and I don't know, I just always feel very energized after it, and it feels like it just sets the tone off for the rest of the day, and that's why I like them. So I wanted to give the old smoothies a shout out. The next thing I want to talk about is a few magazines I've purchased lately, in the same day. 3 of them at once. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Miss FQ, which I'm sure if you're a Kiwi you're probably familiar with. It's like the cooler younger sister of Fashion Quarterly, so it's always a good little read. The next 2 magazines I want to talk about are ones that are more wellness focused, and I'd never seen them before, so I was pretty excited when I stumbled upon them. The first one is called In the Moment, and the other one is called Breathe, and they both have very similar topics: well-being, mindfulness, creativity, and travel. And I just think it's super refreshing. They talk about and they're just really beautiful. Anyway, check out these 2 magazines if you want something that delves a little bit more deeper than those types of fashion magazines. The next thing I want to talk about is another routine based thing, and that is meditations. Last week I mentioned it in my vlog. Kate sent me a meditation, and I have been meditating every night, and that either looks like meditating consciously or falling asleep to meditation, and falling asleep to meditation is totally okay as well. I find that I don't know, I know it's helping me, and I find it is helping me to move through some of the things that are in my brain. I also did yoga this week, which is cool. If you've been following me for a long time, you'll know I have a long history with yoga. I do it and I do enjoy it, but I got out of the habit of doing it regularly. So the other night I just did a simple movement that I kind of just did from my head, and it felt really good. So again, that's kind of a thing that helps to still the mind, and I've been trying to take real charge of managing my anxiety and looking after myself and all that type of stuff. So those are 2 things that I would highly recommend. The next thing I want to talk about is again a physical thing, and that is this book, Little Bird Goodness. I've been wanting this book for a while, but I couldn't really afford it, to be honest, and one day I came into work after a weekend off and there was a parcel waiting for me, and I opened it and it was this book. It was from my mum, so thank you, Mum. I'm super excited to try some of the recipes in here. It just looks really delicious. Like her first book, my mum has a copy of it. I brought it for her birthday one year, and it was more focused on raw stuff, but this one is all focused, is kind of a mishmash of raw and cooked foods, basically. I'm excited to delve into the dessert section too, because this week I gave up refined sugar, so there's a thing I'm trying out. Haven't tried any recipes from it, but I would highly recommend it. Maybe one day I'll do a tour of my vegan cookbooks, because I have a whole heap of them, and when Luke saw me bringing home this one, he was like, I think we're pretty well stocked on the vegan cookbook situation. Let's talk a little bit about movies. Luke and I watched Mudblood. Was it Mudblood? Mudbound. Mudblood. Yeah, Luke and I watched Mudbound. It is set in wartime, and it follows 2 families, one white and one of darker color, and just the kind of contrast that they go through. They end up being friends, and it was super moving. Let me have a look at what Mudbound is about, so I can explain it to you. It's a drama movie. It's 2 Mississippi families, one black, one white, confront the brutal realities of prejudice, farming, and a friendship in a divided World War II era. And honestly, I would highly recommend it. You should watch it because it is good. It makes you feel very many emotions. The other one I watched is called The Breadwinner, which was, I think, produced by Angelina Jolie. We watched it with the girls, and it is a animated one. I'm gonna just read the description to you. It's about a young Afghan girl living under the Taliban regime. She must disguise herself as a boy and become the breadwinner of the family when her father is unfairly imprisoned. Super educational and informative, and it wasn't just your typical Disney film that, you know, you don't learn anything from. So we found it super cool and very inspiring, just to kind of see the harsh, cruel realities and of these people and what they've been through and how different it is. And I would highly recommend you watch it to introduce children to like race and like prejudice and all that type of stuff. So two very race-based movies recommendations, but yeah, those are two movies that I thought were pretty good and that I would like to recommend to you. Let's swiftly move on to the next thing. It is a podcast called Self-Service, hosted by Jericho Mandabur, and it's a part of the Girl Boss radio network. I've been really enjoying Self-Service. I love listening to it. It's like your cosmic kind of wellness zone. So if you're into things like crystals and wellness and just self-care, it's a really good podcast. It's kind of a little bit like woo-woo if you're in, like, I don't know, I'm very open-minded and I've grown up in a very spiritually open family where tarot cards were a thing, and like clearly I have a lot of crystals in my house and all that jazz. So just in case, I just want to give you a little disclaimer that that is something that happens in the show. So yeah, it's a super awesome podcast if you're interested in learning about new things, and she talks about things like Mercury retrograde. She usually has the same two guests on, either Jessica Lanyadoo or Dr. Lauren, and yeah, they're super cool. It's really like, I just love the vibes. So if you guys have any podcast recommendations, please do leave them down below, because my podcast folder is looking a little bit low and I'd like some, you know, I'd like some more to listen to. The last thing I want to mention is another physical item, and it is this bag, which is another present from my mum actually, but it just reminds me of summer and I think it's super cute. I don't know where it's from, but I know that during winter it will keep me going through those dreary days. But yeah, she gave me this bag one day because I was feeling sad, and I think it's one of like my birthday presents that she kind of put away. I just wanted to show it to ya. I will see you guys on Saturday for my first vegan video in a long time, which I'm super excited about. I haven't done a recipe video in ages, but Saturday is the day that that all changes, so stay tuned. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Those are a few of my favorite things. If you guys have any favorites of your own, please do share them in the comments below. I'd love to get a discussion going, or recommend me some podcasts because I'm on the hunt for some new ones.